Civil rights activist Edward Lawson was arrested in Newark, New Jersey on October 20th. Here it is October 21st, and the New Jersey authorities have given a summons to Edward Lawson to appear in court. So I have another Edward Lawson report, and we pick it up midway.
I want to see some ID. That's the first word he says to me. I didn't know that these people were police. I never got through the booth. And so what they did was they arrested me for the identification, but when they started looking at the law, and they did it all night, they had at least 8 different cops interview me. And they couldn't find a way to make the identification thing stick because the fools took my wallet off of me, and they couldn't even find my driver's license for the first half of the night. I have so many different credit cards. I have my SAG card. I have all that in my wallet, so that I guess they realized they couldn't make the identification stick, so what they did is they fabricated a story that they told me not to walk in that direction, and that I did, which is, it's amazing. Fabricated. Actually, the guy made it up out of whole cloth. We're going to give the Justice Department an opportunity to demonstrate it has gone away from J. Edgar Hoover and towards the Bill of Rights. We'll see what they have to say. It's a federal civil rights violation. Falsifying a report is a state violation. We're going to see if we get any of these people to do this. What they do is, I've never seen anything like this before. They will simply walk up to a group of black people and just start saying, give me your identification. And then what they're trying to do is it's a form of tax collection, because I'm in black Newark. There are no white people here other than police and bill collectors. I'm in a ghetto, which means virtually every black person has some kind of ticket that's outstanding, some kind of warrant that's outstanding, some kind of probation violation that's outstanding. This is the other country. This place that I am in does not exist in America. This is a place that disappeared once all of the bourgeois blacks moved to Harvard, went to the mountains, and saw the promised land. And so what the police are doing is they could just get out of the car, just wade into any group of black people, and just start asking everybody, identification, let me see identification, let me see identification. And if they do that enough, with that kind of fishing, they'll come up with X number of people with warrants, X number of people with fines. I am listening to all of the other people who are chained to the wall with me, describing exactly what they did to me is exactly what they did to them. Except the difference was they all had warrants or they had fines that they hadn't paid. These are the people who are unemployed. These are the people who cannot go to grade schools, much less higher education. These are the people whom America has most abused, which they then add the final insult, which is putting them in this plantation mentality where the police simply with no even pretense of constitutional structure just routinely wade into any crowd of black people and start searching them with no presumptive probable cause. They're plain clothes. They have a small badge which is hung around their neck, and it's in a pouch so you can't see it. By the time you see it, because they have all of these outer clothes on, because in Newark right now it's cold, or it's getting cold. So you simply cannot see it. You can't see it. You cannot see it until they hold it up and tell you. I listen to stories from the other prisoners who are chained to the wall with me that a guy just jumped on them, threw them up against the wall, and they start fighting with the guy before they discover that the guy's a cop. But I'm hearing these stories that I'm chained to the wall. They don't identify themselves. They don't have any visible identification. They're not in marked cars. They're driving something like a Toyota. This is, we've gone back to the Jim Crow South. There are 2 Americas. This is what Baldwin talks about. There's America that's on the front page of the New York Times and CNN and ABC, and then there is another country which America does not know about it, and that is this black plantation that I'm living in right now. I am supposed to appear at 11-03-2009 at 9:30 a.m. It's the court that I think is in City Hall, which is on Broad Street in Newark, New Jersey. The whole thing starts when you get to court. This is just amazing, just absolutely amazing that they're doing this and that. You're listening to the other people who are chained to the wall. Everybody is black. Everybody is just going on and on about how all of these instances where they're just standing there or they were just on their way to the pizzeria and just walk up to you, boom. Nothing even approaching probable cause. This is a plantation. When the master comes down, he searches you if he wants to. If he doesn't want to, he doesn't. We're going to see if we can do something about this. They kept all of my property, so I don't have any credit cards. I don't have a driver's license. I don't have any of that. They stole some of the property. I'm watching them as they do that. And again, I have witnesses. What they do is they take your property, and there are certain things that they don't like to put in your property back, so they just throw the stuff away right in front of you. They take us to what's called the Gang Task Force headquarters. I was arrested as a gang member. And when you get there, the gang task force is this extremely draconian, dingy, Kremlin-looking building, and they take you into a room that is lined with black people chained to the wall. Black youngsters, 20-something I assume, all of these black men chained to the wall. And everyone is talking, as long as they're talking about, the things that the police found permissible. The thing is, once I'm arrested, I shut my big mouth. I don't talk to anybody. Don't talk to the cops. Don't talk to the criminals. The cops made the mistake of questioning me in front of the other criminals. And, of course, when I finished, the cop walked out, the other criminals give me a round of applause. And they started talking to me, saying, well, man, if you don't have any wants or something, just give them what they want, and they cut you loose. And no. It launched into who Martin Luther King is, why he suffered so much in jail, and that they, as black men, have more dignity than they are, in fact, permitting themselves, and that they're tolerating. The cop overhears this, comes back in, and tells me I'm to say nothing. A 200-something-pound muscle builder with a high-caliber automatic weapon strapped to his side. All the other prisoners permitted to talk, and as they're talking, I don't say anything once they're taken to jail, but I listen. And they're all describing the same thing. No one in there was arrested for probable cause from the stories I heard. They were just simply walking someplace or going someplace, standing someplace, and then just out of the clear blue sky with zero provocation, zero probable cause. Cops walk up to them and say, "But you have ID?" Just started searching everyone for ID. They're all up against the wall, and if they clear you, then they let you go. And if they don't, then they just collected some more money. This is the money that Bernie Madoff does not pay. They have to get tax money from somewhere, and what they're doing is they have created a criminal justice system that is no more than a very thinly veiled ruse to tax the most impoverished people even more, to tax them through false, contrived criminal fines. The criminal fine system does not have anything to do with law enforcement. It has to do with another surreptitious mechanism to tax the poor to support the wealthy. The testimony of where America has come to is that Timothy Geithner is not in jail. Lawrence Summers is not in jail. I'm in jail. I couldn't believe that.
So now Edward Lawson has a court appearance, and it may be a misdemeanor, so there may be the ability to seek a broader outcome that will help the black citizens of Newark, New Jersey because of this case. That's it. Stay tuned.